Can you tell me a little bit about Coherent's involvement with industrial lasers processing and why that brings Coherent to ICALEO?
Sure. So really, the acquisition of Rofin by Coherent around 1 year ago, 2 years ago, has really developed into a very large company now, which has a lot of interest in industrial laser materials processing, across the board. You've got a laser OEM company getting together with a very well-established laser systems company in the industrial space, and now the synergy between the two is fantastic. So, as a company, we're able to offer any laser solution for the customer. We're not particularly in one area of this technology or that technology. We have a broad spectrum of laser technologies, which allows us to really choose the best solution for the customer in any industrial space, be it welding, cutting, marking, surface treatment, and things of that nature. So it naturally brings us to ICALEO. I mean, ICALEO has been around for such a long time, has a great pedigree as a US conference for industrial laser materials processing. The best people in the industry, the finest minds come to ICALEO to present on new activities, new research, which is great. So you keep abreast of all the developments that are happening in the industry, and also to meet and network with the people who come here. And obviously that's a great thing to happen. And Coherent is part of that now with the acquisition of Rofin, and we're very proud to be a sponsor.
We're very proud, very happy to have you as a sponsor, of course, and we look forward to hopefully many sponsorships in the future and engagement with Coherent. The content and the information you bring is invaluable to the industry and to our society specifically. With regard to LIA, how long have you been a member of LIA, and what's the value that you find in LIA membership?
So personally, I've been a member for maybe 25 years, and really, the value is the connection with what's going on in the industrial laser market space. So you maintain connected either through the conference itself, publications, the Journal of Laser Applications, other publications that you guys put out, the literature that you put out, augmented with the laser safety stuff that you guys put out. So it's very important to stay connected with the LIA for all of these reasons. Essentially, it really is the focus of the laser community in the US. So as a US-based company, we want to be connected with that.
Can you tell me about one of your favorite applications of lasers or photonics?
Yeah, so I'm a laser welding guy, so I like laser welding, and to me, the industry has been driven a lot by laser cutting, particularly for the last sort of 10 or 15 years. Flatbed cutting has really driven the laser community. But now, in the last 3 or 4 years, we're seeing a slight change to that. So now laser welding is finally coming of age. The lasers are now being aligned to the requirements within the welding community. Recently, Coherent has launched a new fiber laser architecture, which is primarily directed at laser welding. So we're really excited about the innovation. And so it sort of wraps up perfectly with my interests, because as I say, being a laser welding guy, it's great to see finally, the industry going in that direction and really be a revenue growth for the industry as well.
How did you become involved in lasers or the laser industry, if you don't mind sharing your story a little bit?
No, not at all. I mean, I was doing a mechanical engineering degree, and I just happened to look on the notice board for final year projects, and I saw this laser-based project, and I thought, hey, that could be fun. And really what it was a combination of two things. One, I was really interested in the technology, but also the lab that I did the project in was full of very enthusiastic, bright, people, like-minded people, and that really drove my interest too. So that was really the kind of the genesis of it. I then went on to do, a graduate degree in laser welding, and then more postdoctoral work at university, which actually was a great foundation because it gives you great exposure to a variety of laser applications. And then, moving into industry was a great move as well. And I've been in the industry for all my working life, and I really, really enjoy it. And it's a constant challenge, and it's constantly changing, and you've got to really like that. And also, the community we work in, it's a relatively small community, the laser community, but it's very vibrant and very enthusiastic, and I think that's what keeps everybody really interested in it.
I couldn't agree more, especially here at ICALEO, where you see some of that vibrance come out with the attendees and the networking opportunities. Touching a little bit on the challenges that you just were referencing, what are some of the largest challenges or barriers that you see us coming up against in laser technology that we need to try to address or find solutions for?
I think some of the challenges are based around education of up-and-coming engineers about laser technology and what it can do. We've got a wealth of products. We've got lots of different lasers. We've got lots of different systems. We've got lots of different application solutions. So I think part of the challenge from our perspective is having the young engineers actually understand what it's all about, and that is a viable option in the manufacturing portfolio. Many times when we're dealing with customers, a lot of people are relatively inexperienced and have no real understanding about what lasers can do in the manufacturing environment. And I think if we could have a look at changing how the syllabus is at those younger ages to educate people, I think that would go a long way in helping the industry grow. I think it's a really interesting time right now because we've got economies of scale, we've got price breakthroughs in lasers. Laser power now is becoming relatively inexpensive, particularly in the in the high power fiber laser space. We've got these other lasers that are gaining more power. So it's really a great time to be in the industry because we've got this really wide variety of solutions. But we don't want to be where we were 30 years ago, where we were, a product looking for a solution. We want industry pull. And I think if we can get that education with the engineers, I think we'll have that. So I think that's one of the key barriers that I see. I think technically, acceptance is there. Lasers have been in industry for a very long time now in a variety of different capacities. I think there's some, as the price points hit certain numbers, I think we'll see some disruptive technology be introduced into other kind of spaces. Will take market away from other technologies, which I think is going to be interesting too. So I think, but I think it all comes back to that education aspect.
If anybody wants to know more about Coherent or reach out to you to kind of to ask follow up, ask questions, etc., how should they contact you? What should they do?
That's a good question. I can give them my email business card. Yeah, so I think really, obviously it's all about, media and emailing and website stuff. But, really to connect with the industry, you've got to come to events like ICALEO and the other events that happen around the globe because if you're serious about laser technology, you can do your research online, which I think is, that's what you want to do. If you're buying a relatively inexpensive piece of equipment, okay, you don't need to come to a conference. But if you're a company and you just really want to find out what it's all about, if you're going to think about embarking on maybe a little bit more of a serious, laser materials processing program, come to these events, talk to the people, get their experiences, and I think it's a great way to learn, hey, what's lasers, what's materials processing all about? Is it right for me? Does it work for me? And make an informed decision.
Well, thank you for coming out today. We really appreciate everything that you do for LIA, as well as your contribution, your membership. Not to forget to mention Coherent and everything that they do, of course. But thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.